Let's see if we are live. It appears to be live. Awesome. All right, let's get to this stuff real quick. Sorry, guys. If you'd noticed, we weren't here last week. And that was because the application that controls my cameras was not functioning. And so earlier today, I deleted the app, re-added it, re-added the cameras, and it seemed to be functioning super. And then right before we went live, that's when I realized I didn't actually set up YouTube to be a streaming option. So I didn't know if that was going to work. So that's why all the chitter chatter back and forth. I hope I didn't burn that piece in half while we were working on that. Ooh, good heat. So if you may recall, we were working on a bottle opener. We're just going to clean it up a little bit, make it a little bit nicer, maybe. So we're just going to dive right in while we got some heat. Ooh. You're going to taper that end down just a little bit, just to, so it's not just a boring blunt end. Get that hot. Yeah, we're just going to bring that down to a little bit of a point, like a taper kind of deal. So it could be used to pop a soda can. So yeah, we'll do that. And I got a little bit of a weird bend in the circular part, so we'll straighten that a little bit. And that'll work out nicely. And I chose these super quick projects for tonight of just finishing that off and whatnot. And this other project I'll talk about in a second, because we're very quickly running out of light and it's overcast here. And I don't want to have to clean up all this stuff in the dark. But with a little bit of luck, in 2 weeks, we'll have the shed in the backyard. And then light won't matter so much because these lights will light up that shed just fine. And we'll be out of the weather. So we'll be able to stream when it's, rain, sleet, snow, or whatever. So the other thing we're going to play with a little bit tonight is I've got this doodad here, which is completely ugly and terrible. This was a project from several months ago in class at Custom Blacksmithing in Atlanta, Indiana, where we were supposed to do like a serving fork type of thing. And I was trying a new process of splitting that open so you wouldn't get a rag. And then I got to chit chatting. It happens, and I completely did it wrong, and basically mangled it, and it'll never be a nice serving fork. So I figured, well, I'm just going to cut the fork part off and turn it into a steak turner, because I've not made one of those. So why not make one of those? Plus, it'll only take a few minutes. So again, we're just dragging this down a little bit, trying to keep it relatively square. A little bit of a lump there. Helps if you hit it and don't just hit your anvil. Clean that edge up. Not bad. Brought it down to a relatively straight taper there. Decent sized handle on it. So now we can see we got a little bit of a, I'm going to heat up that other end and straighten that up a little bit, and that'll be done. This is going to be a silly short stream tonight, but at least we get something on the books, especially after missing last week. I thought there was more work to be done on that, and I really don't think the fork to steak flipper is going to take that much time, so it'll be a short one. We might get out of here with some light left. Yeah, I had to jinx it, right? So, yeah. Love it when all the airplanes and lawnmowers show up right when we kick off the stream. Thank you, Levi. So I had a bit of a moment. I'm old and I'm confused a lot, but I looked up in the super overcast sky. And we are back, maybe? Kinda? All right, that's on the stream now. So we got that going for us. So, friends, in our technical difficulties there, I just went ahead and finished up our old bottle opener. Doo doo doo. Da 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 da. You can see that. So there we go. We got a camera. Yep. So we got a bottle opener there. I'm not going to touch it because it's probably still hot. And my quench tank is currently covered up. So there we got that going for us. Little bottle opener. We can clean that up on the old wire wheel. So now what we're going to do, we're going to turn this whole thing into a steak flipper. Because why not? Like, I feel like it was last summer. Everybody was making steak flippers, and everyone was making them with all sorts of stuff, like the fancy twist and the fancy this and the fancy that. One dude, DB_Forge on Instagram, made one that looked like the tentacle of an octopus, octopi, whatever. And it was super impressive. It was so dang cool. I'm not that cool, even a little bit. So we'll just make a normal one. This was supposed to be like a serving fork, but the fates had something different in store. So we're gonna cut that hook off. We'll taper it down. We'll do like a little pigtail curl on the other side. I forgot that that handle was flattened. I was gonna give it a twist, and I was gonna maybe do like, I don't think it's called the pineapple twist, but you carve some lines into it and then you twist it. It looks really cool. I was gonna do that, but it's flat, and that won't really do anything for us. I don't know if there's enough metal there. We could slot punch it and punch it out and put a bottle opener in the cap, bottle opener in the handle. But that's one of those things. Bottle openers can very quickly be like, I'll put a bottle opener on everything, and then everything's a bottle opener. In which case, if everything's a bottle opener, then that means nothing's a bottle opener. I think that's something Levi told me one time. It was a weird text I got at like 3 a.m. I don't know what he was doing that night.
I don't think I've drank enough for that recently.
Oh my gosh, I've got spots in my sight. One of these lights is messing with me. That is if I move that. Does that mess up my lighting too much? Well, if I move that. It didn't seem to change too much. So, oop, there we go. Also, again, for the record, it's way brighter on your guys' screen than it is here. It's much prettier that way, though. I got all sorts of reds and oranges and stuff. That old adage, red sky at night, sailors delight. Red sky in morning, sailors take warning. So if you're going to go sailing tomorrow, that'd be probably a good day for that. Maybe. So, Deadpool and Wolverine hit Disney Plus this last week. Anybody watch it? Are you in the comments section? I don't know if anybody's here. But if you did, what'd you think? Greatest Deadpool movie or the best Deadpool movie of all time? I think it's somewhere in between.
I still haven't seen it.
I watched the Rick and Morty anime last weekend, I think it was. Not sure how I felt about it. It was a thing I watched. They got really weird, as they normally do. I don't know how I felt about it, though. It was a thing I watched. Levi is not a big fan of Rick and Morty. Has accepted that he's seen parts of it, but Levi's a huge fan of anime. He's seen more anime than he's seen anything made in the States. And I thought that that might be like a nice, like, middle ground. But I just don't know if I don't know if it'd make Rick and Morty worse or anime worse for Levi. I'm not sure. I just don't know how I felt about it. I'm saying these things like I'm expecting people to comment. Like, is there anybody watching other than you guys?
Not right now, but who knows? Maybe somebody will comment later on the week.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. And Brittany and Levi haven't seen it, so they don't have any thoughts on it.
No,
Where were you? I really don't remember. You were off doing something though, because I had the house to myself. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. And we are back live. So yeah, this one's a wash, I guess. Um, so we'll just see if any of this has worked. I had to restart the stream 3 or 4 times. I don't know what the deal is with these cameras. I feel like the app is being dumb. Maybe it's time to switch to wired or something. I hate to give up on the cameras already, but I'll hit up support and see what they have to say about it. So, welcome back. We're turning a failed serving fork into a hopefully not failed steak turner, because why not? So far, I managed to finish up the bottle opener from the last stream. Do 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 do. I don't know if you can see that. It's all washed out. So, oop, there we go. Bottle opener. Not super pretty, but we'll hit it on the wire wheel and get it all clean and nice. And then we'll work on the steak turner, which shouldn't take too long, I would imagine. What's that sound? Oh, sizzling from the hot piece of metal I just put on water. That's super annoying. Sizzle on your own time. It's just one of those nights. My cigar keeps going out, the cameras keep going out, lights are blinding me. It's a good day over here at BrimstoneForge today. But like I said, exciting news. Here in about 2 weeks, we should have a nice big building in the backyard that we can move all this stuff into. And hopefully we can get these camera issues worked out and fixed, which would be nice. Don't try this at home, kids. So we got some exciting projects lined up. Um, so when we do get into the new building and further steps, we're just cleaning stuff up, and then we knew we were going to run out of light here. So we got some exciting projects coming up, which should be pretty exciting. About a week ago, week and a half, Brittany and I sat down and we fired up a spreadsheet like a couple of nerds, and we started building out like what would be fun to make. And then we're starting to kind of prioritize that list a little bit, like what's going to take several hours, what's going to take like an hour, what's going to take this and that. We've discussed all that stuff. So we had a lot of cool stuff lined up. So hopefully those things will come to fruition pretty nicely. So we will just have to see how that plays out. So it won't be so much the hey guys, I ran out of ideas, so we're just going to make chain link today. Like we're still going to be making chain. We got about 300 chain links to make, last count, because I think we're up to about 350 or so. Brittany, she says, yep, somewhere in there. So one of these days, when all the stuff's out there, like, and I have a week off of work coming up, so I'll just probably go out and spend an entire day making chain link and get completely caught up. So that'll be great. So then we don't have to do so much, but we still probably will do like another video where it's like do a chain link from start to finish, because I know most of the chain link we've done is just getting it prepped for welding, like this huge bucket of chain link I have set up over here. All right, so let's make ourselves down to a nice little pointy taper, as our projects often start off with. This piece is already square, so we just got to start working that taper down. Gonna work all 4 ends of this down so we can all bring it down together. Try to keep it as symmetrical as possible. Yeah, let's get that hot. I want to bring that down to a much pointier point. If you, for those of you that are looking closely, you'll notice that that used to be a railroad spike. And no, I didn't stretch all that metal out by hand. Um, Kurt used a power hammer. He had a whole bucket of them, and he just stretched them out real long, threw them on the table, and said, "There you go, guys, make forks." So some did, some of us failed. So that's why I've got this super long railroad spike. Railroad spikes are great if you're just making doodads. You know, there's a lot of steel there. Got to get it really hot to really move all that steel. There's a lot of steel there. You can make a lot of stuff with it. I've seen people make knives with them. I wouldn't. It's mild steel, so you'll never be able to harden it and get a good hard edge on it that'll hold an edge for very long. Which comes up to the misnomer of, I'm going to let that come out of the fire a little bit so we can talk about this for a minute. Some railroad spikes are marked HC, as in high carbon. So lots of people look at that and it's like, oh, it's a high carbon steak. So I can turn it into a knife or an axe or a tomahawk or a whatever. It's high carbon in comparison to normal railroad spikes, which are low carbon. And even the high carbon ones aren't high enough carbon to really hold an edge. So something to think about. But if you want to practice, if you can get a whole bucket of railroad spikes and you want to practice the process of drawing it down into a knife, do it. Make 1,000 of them and then throw them over there or give them as gifts as butter knives or letter openers. And that's really good practice for making knives before you start pulling out the tool steel or high carbon steel. So we're gonna get back to this because we're good and hot now. Draw this out. See how easy that draws out when it's got a good heat on it. I'm gonna do one more heat on drawing that point down. Since you're gonna be poking steaks and whatnot, I want it to have a real nice point so you can get in there real easy. It got dark in a hurry, and I was absolutely wrong when I said earlier that we might be able to get through it before the light gives up on us. And this cigar is just not my friend, dang. So let's relight this real quick. Oh, the usual plug for the cigar. Boop. This is a Black Pearl. I couldn't tell you who makes the Black Pearl. Is it on there? Nope. It's an incredible cigar. So good. Big fan.
Makes me want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good movie. I really enjoyed those movies, like up until they threw it away at the end of the third one.
The first three were definitely a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. The only one I saw outside of the original three was that one about mermaids or something.
I don't remember.
It didn't have Johnny Depp in it. I don't even think it had Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. Like something strange waters or something. Dark water. I forgot to change my camera over. Sorry guys. Enjoy staring at the top of my hat there. So we got a pretty solid point. Da-da-da-da. Pretty solid. So we're gonna round that off there at the very end because why not? And then we'll curl it around. That'll be great. I know the whole handle is squared, but that just seems weird to me that it would be a square pokey thing that goes into the stick. So we're just gonna round off the ends because There's nobody here to stop me, really. I am super washed out after that light went away. That any better?
You're gonna want to turn down the white one.
Turn down the white one. Do we want it to be less white? Nope, wrong direction. Is it one of these guys that's washing me out? No, I'm too yellow. Cool. Can't wait till this isn't a problem anymore. And those lights are right in that camera.
Fair bit of glare.
The old glare bear. Eh, close enough. Oh, it's still too yellow. Too white. Alright, I'm not messing with that and burning up my piece. So what we're doing here, as I often refer to it, is hitting the high spots, which are those hard corners in that square shape. You knock those down to square, which is what you start off with, and then you go to octagon, and then from octagon you go to decagon or something, 16, and then again round, but it's mostly square, octagon, round. Once you've knocked down some of those high points, you can start to see the round coming in, and then you just chase those lines, and then you can start spinning it on the anvil, and it'll become round again. But if you've watched the channel, you probably know that already. Oh, neighbor's here. Yeah, have a seat, buddy. So working on doing that round in a little bit more. Gonna take it up a little bit higher. This moves a lot easier when it's hot, so we're gonna do one more heat on that before we start shaping it to our flipper. So my neighbor just showed up. He too is a bit of a smith. So what was the last thing you made? Last time you fired up your forge?
So I just put together a new little volcano forge.
Very cool. How many jets? Like how many?
Just one.
Right on.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It gets hot. It gets real hot.
Nice.
And it's because I haven't been able to find coal. So I got that, and it'll work for whatever I need to. And it's cool because it's got a pass through, so if I want to heat up certain sections of the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like my gas forge.
It's like a much smaller version of that. Yeah.
So we had talked about this before. There's a place up north, like 2 hours or so, that sells coal by like the truckload. We could go in on like a ton, split it. I recently bought one of those big IBC totes. It's like the big plastic tote in a metal frame.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They got like a big water jug.
Yeah.
Jug thing. Yeah.
They're like 40, 45 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. So pick up one of those.
It'll fit in the back of your pickup truck.
It'll fit on the trailer.
Yeah.
So, or we could rent one because we might be pushing the limit on my trailer.
So I was gonna say I got a big truck.
Yeah. So we could throw a couple. If we could fit two in your truck, then we can just split the ton.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun getting it out of the back of the truck, though.
Yeah. I was thinking get a trailer that can handle it.
Yeah, we could get a U-Haul for like 20 bucks for the day, and those are pretty low to the ground.
Yeah.
And I do have a pallet jack from my vending machine business I used to have.
I could probably borrow a pallet jack from work too for a weekend thing if I had to.
Yeah, my pallet jack is up at a buddy's house, so I just have to swing up there and pick it up.
And then like if we're moving them around that much anyway, it's probably cheaper to buy one like a cheap one Harbor Freight or something.
Pallet jacks, when I was in the market to buy one over at Harbor Freight, they're like 300 bucks.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
I got one off
Are you
Facebook
serious?
Marketplace for 100.
I got one this one, it's $100.
Yeah, there is a guy on Facebook Marketplace that had his for like 120, 130. I said, how about an even 100 and I'll pick it up today. He's like, I'll see you then. Like, cool. So yeah, we can definitely arrange that and do a little field trip up there.
Yeah.
I'm getting low on coal anyways. I got what, like 3 bags left? Something like that.
3.5.
Yeah, you're the last one that got into the coal, so it's like 3.5.
That's the way to do it, really, instead of the gas or propane line. I do it.
I haven't fired up my gas grill since I got the, or gas grill, gas forge since I got my coal forge. I just prefer coal.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot quieter out east.
There's that. And you're not blasted with heat. Like,
I also, somebody put like a furnace in my garage.
okay. Okay.
So there's like natural gas like,
Hey,
plumbed into my garage.
that's not bad. You could
So
probably.
I kind of thought about just like ripping out the furnace and putting in like a. Well, just put a wire in there. That way you can keep your heated garage. I've never even fired up the furnace. I don't even know if it works.
I mean, if you're running a natural gas forge in your garage, you don't need a furnace out there.
Right.
Like your garage, you'll have the door open in the snow and your shorts and t-shirts working on it. A buddy of mine,
It's like there, so
a buddy of mine has this big barn, like it's like 40 by 35 or something. It's huge, and he has a 2-burner Hell's Forge.
yeah.
And in the wintertime, we'll have all the doors open and go stand outside to take a break from all the heat. All right, let's bend this over here. We're just gonna lap that over that way. Easy enough. And I'm not gonna, that's awfully thin, so I'm not gonna risk breaking that off by doing the second bend. So we'll get that heated up again. There's nothing wrong with doing a second or third or fifth heat. Do you want to come around this side and see what it looks like from my angle? Or you can stand over here so you don't end up on camera.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. I've never seen it, man. It's cool. It's really cool to see. Are those like high speed cameras or anything? Not super high speed.
We're gonna show them that really quick.
High resolution.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, the app on the phone there controls the 2 cameras. So you tap the top camera, that's camera 1, the one right in front of me. And if you tap that second camera, it'll light up this camera that's over the anvil, so people can see what I'm actually working on here.
That's really cool.
It's funny, the very first live stream I did was on Instagram with just this little phone tripod and my phone. And I was standing in the driveway doing it. And it's like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. I think I'm going to do this more. It's like, well, I want to get some decent cameras. So then we switched to these cameras.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's, you know, I got a lot of shadows on my face from my hat. So let's add some lights. Well, now it's getting dark early. Let's add more lights. And it's like, then we got the shotgun mic. It just keeps.
What about if we hung them up from the frame so you had some overhead lights?
We've talked about that, but here in about 2 weeks, I'm going to have a 12 by 24 shed dropped off in my backyard.
I heard you say something about that on the 26th.
So yeah, that's in like 2 weeks. We'll have the shed, and then the lights will basically become permanent fixtures in the building.
Yeah.
And then the cameras will just tape off where they belong, and then throw them in
That's
place.
gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
It, set up and tear down one place.
Yeah, because then when we're done, we'll just all the electronic equipment and my toolbox will come inside. Everything else will stay. So that'll be nice. Even I think I found the fan I'm going to use. There is power already. Like there used to be some trees in the backyard, and somebody attached a power block to the tree.
Yeah.
The trees aren't there, but the power block's still hanging out. So we'll just grab the extension cord
Plug into that.
and run it that way
Cool.
until later, probably next summer. I'll get the permit to add electric and then throw an actual power box and wire it up proper.
Yeah, just let me know, man. I'll do with it.
Yeah, figure I'll buy you a bottle of bourbon or a box of
Deal.
case of your favorite beer or something. All right, so now we're just gonna lay this over the other side there. Gonna stay real tight to the horn because I want a nice swoopy turn. Straighten up that tip a little, just the tip. There we go. Steak turner. Would have been done a lot faster if I wasn't busy jibber jabbering. So, like I said, we're gonna do quick and easy project tonight. I don't know if my bottle opener is still warm. All right, so yeah, bottle opener. Finish that off. Then our nice little steak turner. Get something on the books for tonight since we missed it last week. So steak turner, real easy. Just fold it over, do all the work basically over the horn. Looks real nice there, real easy. And then please don't burn me. And then yeah, the ugly bottle opener for the moment. I'll hit that with the old wire wheel and clean that up real nice, and then probably hang it from the fridge for cracking open bottles and whatnot. Still throw that on the hot shelf and let that cool down. We're completely out of light tonight, so we're gonna go ahead and shut things down a little early tonight. Caught a leaf. So yeah, as always, check out BrimstoneForge.us. Got the store, especially with the shed coming up. We're gonna see a lot more stuff added to the store. And I'm not gonna go through my normal barrage of plugs because it's right at the end anyways. Should have done that in the middle. But anyways, from everybody here at Brimstone Forge, hope you had a great time. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you have a project in mind, like, hey Jesse, how do you make a diddy-do? Or hey Jesse, how would you go about? Or hey Jesse, can you make a such and such? Hit me up. Like, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM or whatever, and we'll talk about it. But other than that, unless anybody has anything to add, nope, everybody's spoken. You guys all have a great night, and we will see you next week. Same forge time, same